Why Israel cannot seem to find peace. A simplified history of Israel, Palestine, and the Promised Land. Whether it was the Egyptians, Amalekites, Midianites, Moabites, Ammonites, Amorites, Philistines, Assyrians, Babylonians, Persians, or Romans, the nation of Israel has always been at war with its neighbors. Why is this? Why have God's chosen people been devastated by war for thousands of years? Why can't Israel seem to ever find peace? Some argue it is because God has a special plan for the nation of Israel, but Israel has not kept the covenant with God. Let us take a very brief and simplified history and the genesis of Israel at war. Abraham, whose birth name was Abram, was born in the city of Ur in ancient Mesopotamia. Ur was an important Sumerian city-state located in what is now southern Iraq. He later moved to Haran along with his family. The Bible provides information about Abraham's journey from Ur to Haran in Genesis 11:31. Terah took his son Abram, his grandson Lot, son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, the wife of his son Abram, and together they set out from Ur of the Chaldeans to go to Canaan. But when they came to Haran, they settled there. Haran is located in modern-day Turkey. It's in the southeastern part of Turkey, near the border with Syria. The exact location of ancient Haran corresponds to a site called Şanlıurfa in present-day Turkey. Terah, Abraham's father, eventually died in Haran. It was after Terah's death that God called Abraham to continue the journey to the promised land of Canaan, as described in Genesis 12. God makes a covenant with Abraham, then known as Abram, and promises to give him and his descendants the land of Canaan. Abraham indeed moved to the land of Canaan. However, Canaan was already inhabited by indigenous peoples and various city-states at the time of his arrival. These native Canaanite groups included the Amorites, Hittites, Jebusites, Hivites, Perizzites, Girgashites, and others. It was in Canaan that Abraham's wife, Sarah, gave birth to Isaac, beginning the fulfillment of God's promise to make Abraham's descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky. In continuation of this quest, Isaac begot Esau and Jacob while they were still living in the land of Canaan. Jacob inherited the birthright and begot 12 sons, beginning the 12 tribes of Israel. One of those 12 sons was Joseph, who was hated by his brothers and later sold to the Ishmaelite slave merchants. All these happened while Jacob, also known as Israel, was still living in the land of Canaan. While God blessed Joseph in the land of Egypt, making him rise to become prime minister of the country under incredible circumstances, Canaan fell into severe famine. People were starving to death. Jacob sent his sons, including Benjamin, Simeon, and Judah, to Egypt to buy grain. They went to Egypt several times and later met Joseph, who had become an important figure in the country. Joseph then sent for Jacob and the entire family to come to Egypt to escape the famine in Canaan. So that is how the Israelites departed from Canaan to Egypt. But after Joseph died, the Israelites were turned into a stateless slave nation. But God had not forgotten his promise. He charged Moses to lead them back to the promised land. Moses eventually did after the people spent 40 years in the wilderness. Again, when they arrived, there were people inhabiting Canaan: Canaanites, Amorites, Hittites, Jebusites, Hivites, Perizzites, and the Girgashites were all present. But the Israelites were able to overcome them and establish themselves in the land. King David and his son Solomon established a unified monarchy over a larger portion of the land. However, after several leaders in the mode of judges and kings, Israel fell to foreign powers. The northern kingdom of Israel fell to the Assyrians in 722 BCE. The kingdom of Judah was conquered by the Babylonians in 586 BCE, and its people were exiled to Babylon. However, when Cyrus became king of Persia, He allowed the Jews to return and rebuild their homeland. Not long after, Judea, a part of ancient Israel, was conquered by the Roman Empire. The destruction of the Second Temple in 70 AD by the Romans and the subsequent Roman rule marked a period of Jewish diaspora, with Jews scattered throughout the Roman Empire and beyond. This is often seen as a time when Jews lost control of their homeland in Canaan. The nation of God became scattered all over the world, which led to tragic consequences, including the murder of 6 million Jews by Hitler during the Holocaust. This and other events led the world, headed by the United States and Europe, to come together to establish the State of Israel in 1948 in parts of the historic land of Canaan, fulfilling the prophecy God made to Abraham. Yet again, the establishment of the Israel nation and the return of Jews to their land upset many of its neighbors, who complained of encroachment on their territory. These neighbors include Palestine. This is the genesis of the ongoing war between Israel and Palestine. Both sides have used high-handed tactics to gain control. The latest is the attack on Israel by Hamas militants. Some Christians have naturally supported Israel in his fight against its neighbors. But we have to be careful about taking sides. Some say they support Israel because of the Christian population in Israel. As laudable as that may sound, Israel only has about 200,000 Christians. Palestinian Christian population is around similar number. The point is that we cannot blindly take sides. Instead, we should condemn any and every act of violence committed by either sides. Most importantly, we should pray for God's righteous judgment to prevail. So, why are all these happening? Why can't Israel seem to find peace? Why can't the promise be resolved completely? Perhaps Israel needs to reconsider its rejection of the redemption offer by God through Jesus Christ. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Amen.